just right now. It's a nonprofit. It's a nonprofit called Hydrate the Hood. And what that is that we go in the underserved communities and talk about the benefits of alkaline water. So the way we started out was another Tennessee State graduate, my pro fight, Jason Rigel. He had a medical company and he had these generators that were pretty much dead stock. I think I got one with uh, these pH 9 cups. So what these cups do is you put water in it and shake it up and it turns into alkaline water. So what we do is we go in communities that who don't have access to alkaline water or don't have the funds to purchase, we give those cups to them. So that whole journey, that process has been very challenging. It's not been the best of times, but it's a journey. So I'm excited for it. Tomorrow we'll be going to New Orleans, Louisiana, to be doing a presentation for the New Orleans Saints. And that's how much we've grown in the last 2 years. We started off local, now we've branched out to New Orleans, the Baltimore Ravens, the New England Patriots. So just being diligent, being persistent, sticking to the craft and consistently working on it every day has got us to that point. So that's one venture. The second venture is my personal one. I call it my baby. I have a bourbon company, which is a liquor called Reverence. And I started out 3 years ago learning the liquor game, the alcohol game. And I've been to like 12 to 15 distilleries trying out different brands and different flavors. And this year, 2 days ago, I launched my product. And that whole journey was another challenge because it was in the midst of a pandemic, which we're still currently in. So paperwork being processed took longer, getting materials in took longer, and the financial commitment was a lot steeper. And I can say that, when you see your whatever it is that you created come to fruition, it means more because you can take something out of your mind and put it on paper and you execute the plan, then the product comes to life. It's a big thing. So right now, we'll be starting out retail locally here in Nashville, and we'll be going towards Memphis in the next few months. So, like I said, it's been very challenging. I'm also like to answer questions, and if y'all have any questions as far as my journey or whatever I did, feel free to ask. I'm an open book.
What made him start? Ask him, honey. Mr. Frazier.
Yeah.
So what made you start like everything you wanted to do?
What made me want to start?
Yeah.
The main thing why I wanted to start was when I first got out of school, I worked in the community centers here in Nashville for Metro Parks. So I didn't see a lot of growth going on, and then also the 9 to 5 life wasn't my thing. Like I didn't like getting up at a certain time, somebody telling me what to do, give me a 30-minute lunch when it's gonna take me 30 minutes to decide what I want to eat, requesting to be off work when I'm a full-grown adult. I can, my mom told me, when you're young, you always ask your mom, can you go outside? She said, you're not grown yet or whatever, so you got to always ask for permission for things. So I saw, like, my mindset was like, why I got to keep asking to take off and enjoy life? Like, that don't make sense to me. And sometimes I got to approve, sometimes I got to deny it. But it goes to say that, that trigger, like, I need to get into entrepreneurial life, work for myself, and create my own lifestyle and live it to the fullest. So that's why I took on this journey, and that's my why, because I want to have freedom. I want my time back. That's the main goal, is to have freedom.
Did you have any haters?
Do I have any haters? If I do, I don't know them. I'm a very likable guy. I think I'm a pretty cool dude. So I don't pay attention to haters, but I give you something that Steve Harvey. I listen to Steve Harvey every morning, motivational speaking. So picture haters is like throwing dirt on you. That dirt is the soil for you to grow through. So
Be still.
any hating naysayers or people that put doubt, this just look at it as dirt on your seed that you're trying to grow through, and that fertilizes you to become, what you want to be.
Anybody else? Questions? Everybody needs to have at least one question.
Yeah.
I got a question.
What's up?
30.
What was the steps that you took to start the business?
So
Like
first,
the beginning.
you said what now?
The beginning.
Oh, the beginning. My first official step was to, like I said, know my why I'm doing something. I tell everybody, if you want to go into business, first off, have a why. And your why really can't be, to make money. It can't be the case, but you won't sustain it. You got to have something that means a lot to you. That you're gonna have to be passionate about, because it'll be days where you don't make money, but the fact you want to, be successful is gonna keep you driving. So the first thing was to find my why. The second thing was to know what business structure I had to create, as far as like an LLC, a S corp, a C corp, and all those type of things. And I'm pretty sure y'all have talked about those type of LLCs, I believe.
Yeah.
As in, yes.
Okay. Hey, I haven't.
Not all of this group. Some of them have, but we have
Okay.
all of them.
Okay. So yeah, do research on what type of business structure you have to go through with what type of business you want to do. So with me, it was an LLC. I'm a one person LLC. Some of y'all may have to do a S corp or a C corp, depending on what type of business structure you have, or a nonprofit, which is about 10 different aspects, like a 501c3, a 501c10, a 501c4, which is for fraternities or whatever. So learning what type of business structure I had to create. So I went through that route. And then on top of that, knowing the type of permits you have to have for licensings, taxes, and all those sorts of things right there. So that whole process took about 2 to 3 months. I always call it seed money. As far as my seed money, I had to start off with out of my own pocket about $500 or $600 with the LLC and the taxes and all this stuff. And as far as getting the funding for the business, I went through the business credit route, and that's what I would recommend, using other people's money, because the first hurdle is like trying to find funding, but banks are open and willing to give funding through credit and loans through the business route. So if any of y'all want to start a business, I would advise not to use your own money, use somebody else's money, because you're creating an asset to create profit for you to live off of. If you use your own money, then you'll be out of money, and you'll be still trying to replace the money that you put in. But if you other people's money, then it's free game. So that's the route I went. I went business credit. So I'm able to keep the cash I have on hand to still sustain my lifestyle right now. But in time, as I start to make more money in my business, I can walk away from my firefighter job. So that's what I did to start my business.
Okay, hold on. Empress.
Do you have your own building?
I don't. Like the times we're in right now, with the type of business I have, it's not meant for me to have a brick and mortar. So most of my business is done online, and like my sources that I shoot my product to, I use distributors, and I don't own that building, but my distributors do. They just house my products. So I don't have a brick and mortar. All businesses don't require brick and mortar as well too. So that helps out with overhead. When you have a brick and mortar, you got to pay light bills, utilities. Some was to break down, like an HVAC system, that you got to come out of pocket for all that. So That's why I went the online route with my two businesses.
Okay, Jeremiah.
When you were growing, did you have any doubts, like where you were doubting yourself about how you were gonna grow your stuff?
Did I have any doubts?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say doubts. It was more so, I guess, my anxiety. So, I have anxiety already. To let y'all know, the way I deal with it is, I work out, drink water, and I listen to motivational speaking. So, that inner conversation that you always have with yourself, it's always going to be that negative aspect because we're all human. So the way you fight that is, you always, think about, the success, because failure is gonna always come. Like, you're gonna fail your way to success. So once you grasp that concept, it's a lesson learned over and over and over. So as far as doubt, I don't ever doubt myself. I just got to figure out what I have to do to get it done, and it may not be the road, the easiest taking road to get to that point, but I know that at some point I'm going to hit my destination. So as far as doubt, I don't have any doubt.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me go. Makai, then Isaiah, and then Michael.
You just asked him about the question on the camera.
I didn't say that. I don't know what I said. I didn't even hear you.
Did I not just ask him?
I didn't even hear you.
All right. Did you have any roadblocks, and if so, like, how did you solve them?
Yeah, I did. I always have roadblocks. That's an everyday thing in entrepreneurial life. So, prime example, I had to get a permit, a wholesaler permit through the government. And when you fill out paperwork, in this case, if it was anything flawed in the paperwork, that would kick um, your whole application out. You had to start all over again. So the main thing, I had to do a lot of homework, like fill out paperwork properly, and so I wouldn't have to deal with that issue. So um, it took me about 3 months to learn that whole system, as far as like being a wholesaler, putting the right verbiage on my application, having the right licenses and all this stuff. So I submitted the first time, and then it takes about 3 weeks to process, and it took really about 9 months. So that set me back right there as far as like when I want to get my stuff done. So that was due to the pandemic. People wasn't working inside the offices as often as they would be if we wasn't in the pandemic. So that was a roadblock right there. So when you got to submit stuff and it's out of your hands, that's a roadblock in itself, because I couldn't control when they was gonna look at my application or not. It was just on their timeline. So that's the main roadblock. Is getting things processed and getting them done in a timely order.
All right. Michael.
You see Isaiah's enemy.
Oh, Isaiah.
What
You see Isaiah's enemy. She said Isaiah's enemy.
This.
What motivated you?
Could you hear
You
him,
said
Michael?
what? I didn't hear him.
You gotta speak up, babe.
What motivated you?
What motivated me?
Yeah,
Uh,
motivating you.
what motivates me is having that freedom to do what you want to do. Providing providing your gift, my personal gift, to the world, so I can be compensated back. Because I'm a firm believer in the more you give, the more you receive, and that's my whole thing. So another thing was creating a legacy, for my family. As y'all know, in the Black community, we're not, well, my generation, we wasn't taught about creating businesses and having ownership in things, and real estate, and leaving a legacy back. I was taught, go to school, get a degree, get a good paying job, because they can't take your degree away from you, which is true. However, my generation, as we got to school, it was like, it got to be something else better than this. Taking out student loans and working 40 years just to pay them back. And then once you're done working, you don't have money to like sustain a lifestyle. So you got to keep working. So working for somebody else, you're you're making their dream happen. So why not invest and create your own dream? So that's my two things is leaving a legacy and also having freedom. That's my two motivations, my two biggest motivators.
She said that was good, Jay. Okay, Michael.
Yes.
What long did it take for you to actually make a commitment?
You say how long?
What did it take for you to actually make your commitment?
What did it take? I hit my breaking point when I was working in parks. So I was there for about 6 years, and around 2018, I made a decision to walk away. That's when I joined the fire department. So at the fire department, I only worked 9 days a month. So I had my time mostly back. I only worked 30% of the year. So I can live with that. But just like I said, you got to wake up every day dreading to go to work. You only getting a 30-minute lunch break. Being a grown man, asking to take off to have fun and be with your family, like that stuff, that wasn't me. So once I got tired of doing that, that's when I made this shift. So I mean, whatever your breaking point is, that's when it's time to go. You just got to get up and do it. You can't be afraid of what can happen, the worst that's going to happen. Like you just got to go through it and make it happen. So yeah.
Me? Okay. Hi, I'm India. So I have a
How
question.
you doing, Indy?
So knowing what you know now, is there anything would you have done differently when you were first starting out?
No,
No, that's what's up.
I wouldn't. Yeah. It's a phrase called not a phrase, but an excerpt from a poem. Life ain't been a crystal stair.
Wait, what
So it's a poem called Mother of the Sun by I want to say Langston Hughes. And one of the lines out of the poem is, life hasn't been a crystal stair. So what that means is, life is always going to be trials, tribulations, pitfalls. If it was easy, everybody would do it. And if life was easy, you won't have nothing to live for. You'll become complacent. You'll become content, and then you'll just, you die quickly. So you got to be grateful for the good times and the bad times. So like the bad times is what makes the good times. They're lessons. It's not losses. It's always a lesson, and that's how you grow.
All right.
Dr. V.
Anybody else got a question?
Another V, yeah.
Got a question?
Okay. So so as an entrepreneur, like if there were anything that you could say to these young people, knowing what you know, having gone to college, graduated, worked in different jobs, what would you say to them to us? What would be your advice? 3 pieces of advice that you might give them.
Okay. The first advice, create yourself a schedule. Be organized.
Right.
You said be organized?
Yeah, be organized. Always, I would say exercise daily. It creates the energy for you to tackle on the day. It relieves the negative stress that you're going to encounter for the day. You become more productive. Drink a lot of water, and also, read every day. So that's number 1 altogether. Number 2, value relationships over money. Your network is your actual net worth. So the more relationships that you create, the more people that you know, the better off you'll be, because it's a lot of things that I didn't know that my friends knew. And the fact that I had a relationship with them, I was able to go into these different spaces and these different things that had to get done. They was there for me. So if I didn't have those relationships, I would still be trying to figure it out on my own. So like always, relationships over money. And number 3 is keep your why in mind. Wake up every day, know your why you're doing it. show gratitude, and always speak things that you want to get done to an existence. Because I think Dr. Walters told me y'all read Think and Grow Rich.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that there is like the actual, in my opinion, that's the Bible to entrepreneurship. You know, whatever you think, always put it on paper, and with action behind those thoughts, they come into reality. So those would be my three things right there. You know, that's kind of like more, but those are the main things I actually do on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, next thing. How do we get some water bottles? All of this plastic in here.
Yeah.
I can't
Well,
keep this up. We can't keep buying this water.
got you. So what I'll do is I'll call my team. You send me the address, and I
Okay.
have whatever number of water bottles you need. I have them shipped down to you, and y'all will be adequately hydrated with high quality alkaline water on the go.
Yes.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Listen, Michael, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to
Yes, ma'am.
sow into and pour into these young entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And we just
Wait, I got a question.
go ahead.
Oh, do you have like a website that we could go to like see the products and stuff?
Yes. So for my water bottles, you can see our whole programs and what we do. It's at hydratethehood.org.
HydrateTheHood.org.
Yes, .org. It's a nonprofit. And as far as my liquor business, you have to be 21. So I can't get y'all their website because you're not 21 yet. Yeah.
Wait, wait.
Hydrate
The Hood.
the
Oh, it's the good?
the hood. No.
The Hood, HOOD.
Oh.
Good morning.
I thought you said
Well,
hood first.
that's like
.org.
It won't. It won't. Okay.
Wait,
I'll-
wait. Can I ask one more question?
Go
I'm
ahead.
Sorry. Can I ask you one more question?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, what do you do on those days where you just don't feel like being bothered, like with your job? Like those days where like it's like tough. What do you tell yourself?
That I don't feel like being bothered with my job.
Yeah. Or any of them. What do you do hard overall?
Yeah, it's gonna sound kind of funny, but I just take a sick day.
You said what?
I just take a sick day. I just don't show up.
Well, that's called a mental health day.
Exactly.
That
Exactly.
counts. Yeah.
I have one more question.
Uh-huh.
So what?
Have you had people
My bad.
go?
She said, "What?
Have you had people come and go?
What you mean by people coming? Like friends? Have I lost friends along the way?
Yeah.
Yes, I have. That's part of the process, and that's something you got to realize that everybody's not going to grow with you. You know, everybody has a time in the season with you. That season may be, your entire childhood, or it can be 4 to 6 months, or maybe a week or so. So I have lost friends. It's not been from a negative standpoint. It's just me. I continue to grow, continue to develop myself, and as a time like you start to put time to your business, you start to take away time from those. I call them distractions, and if people not growing with you, that's all they're gonna fade away naturally. So that's part of everyone's process. I mean, that's part of your life as well. Even if you're not going through entrepreneurship, you'll probably move away from Florida right now and get a job, and maybe, well, not a job, you'll start a business like in Texas or somewhere because that's where the market is at. So by you making that move and that jump, you may not talk to the same friends you talked to back in Florida as consistently as you did. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. That's a part of life because the more people you know, the more you grow.
Awesome. Erdy, you had another question?
Yeah, I was gonna say. So with the bottles, you can get faucet water. You could just
You
put
can
faucet water.
You can put any water in it. You can, like I said, you can use faucet water, tap water. You still have bottled water. You can put bottled water in it. and shake it up, and it turns into alkaline.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, don't turn the camera. That's Michael.
No.
I'll ask it. Excuse me. So you can use toilet water?
Toilet water.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question. Would you drink toilet water out of just straight toilet?
No.
I mean, I'm putting
Okay.
Listen, these kids. Okay, all right. Listen, Michael, thank you so much for taking time out.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I got one more
No
question.
problem.
Wait, I got one more question, or my mom got a question.
I got one more question. Do you know
Wait.
Do you know your name? His name?
Oh no.
What'd he say?
Do you know that his name Michael too?
Oh my.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Arity.
My mom want to know like the science behind the cups, like what's in the cups that makes it turn into alkaline water.
Okay.
Like, is it
So
like charcoal or anything?
no, it's not charcoal. It's so the cup is not plastic. It is made out of corn husk. It's a natural product that it's not BPA certified, so it's 100% naturally free.
Okay.
On the table.
Wow.
Okay.
So that's what cleans it?
Yeah, so that's what enhances the pH. So inside the lining of the cup is it's a product, it's a mineral called alkali. So it infuses iron, magnesium, and calcium into the water as you shake it up. That friction eradicates the metals in the water to create the pH of 9 to raise the pH to 9, so it can be more healthy for you.
Oh, okay.
That's good. But Michael, last question.
How do people pay you?
How do people pay me?
Yeah. Like how do people
By
pay
buying
you water?
my products.
Online, right?
Yeah, online or in person.
Come on now,
Okay, listen, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule. We appreciate it. You all tell Mr. Frazier thank you. Not no Michael.
Mr. Frazier.
Thank you.
All right.
And I'll send you the address. I'll send you the address and everything, but we also want your address so we can send you thank you letters.
Oh, thank you. I'll do that.
Yeah, so we'll get with you. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day.
Y'all do the
say
same.
bye.